What is up, YouTube? Today we're doing a top 10 players list. It's been a while since I've done this. I think it was since like October or something. So I just kind of wanted to say what my current opinion is on the top 10 with a couple of honorable mentions. First off, we have, let me go to the internet scene. Oh no, I didn't put it. For the first honorable mention, we're going to have Chag. Chag, I feel like, was very in the top 10 for a little bit, but in the past like month or two, he's kind of been doing worse. He didn't have great results at the last couple majors. 33rd at Pound, 13th at Genesis, which is good, but not great. And then he got 7th at Collision after a really long losers run. I feel like he's losing to more people randomly. He didn't do particularly well at Summit. He didn't do well at Smash World Tour. And so there's just been a couple of things that have kind of been not super great from him, which is the only reason he's not in top 10, because I mean, he's really good, but I feel like the past month or two, he's just been doing a little bit worse compared to a lot of the other people on this list, so he's honorable mention. The next honorable mention is Riddles. Riddles has just started to become incredibly good. Obviously, Riddles has had like a couple of runs recently. He got, I think, 4th yesterday at Pound, and then he did pretty well at Genesis with 13th, but again, not super good. But he also got 4th at Collision. The thing about before that, though, is he got 49th at Glitch Infinite, which was very strange for him. Granted, I think he was Roy. 33rd at SmashCon Fall Fest, because like he was doing the Roy for a little bit, and he definitely took a decent amount of losses because of that. So because of that, he's not in top 10. If it's just current skill, yeah, maybe he's top 10, but there's a lot of really good players. But basically, if he continues to be consistent and continue to get like top 8s and 9ths, he will be top 10 in a month or two, basically. That's basically my take on it. And the third honorable mention, the final honorable mention, is Zackary. Zackary, my favorite player. The only reason I'm putting him in honorable mention and not in top 10 is he hasn't been active recently. The last big tournament he went to was KagiDB6, which he won, but he hasn't gone to anything because he's been focusing on Pokemon Unite, since they have crazy prize pools in Japan, and also just Pokemon in general puts a lot of money into their games. If it wasn't for that, he clearly, like, look at these results. He hasn't placed below like 9th. He's placed 9th once here in May in 2020. Like, he's been ridiculous since the end of the online era. He's incredible, one of my favorite players. He is, in my opinion, top 10, but he hasn't been going to anything, so I'm not going to waste a spot on this list with him. But also, he's great. He's so good. He's incredible. And with number 10, we are going to go with the King of New York, DeBuzz. I know I should have a picture here, but it's DeBuzz. DeBuzz is number 10. So the thing about DeBuzz is he is incredibly consistent. He kind of doesn't place poorly at all. His worst placement is 17th at SmashCon Fall Fest, but besides that, he's basically getting like 13th and 1st and 9th and 5th and 4th and 9th, and he's kind of always around the top 8 area. He's basically the gatekeeper to get into top 10, because if you can start beating DeBuzz, that means that you don't have a roadblock in DeBuzz. And a lot of people, like, there are so many players that have roadblocks that are DeBuzz, like myself, MVD, plenty of other players are just like, I'm playing really well, and then I fought DeBuzz and I got absolutely decimated. He is just one of those players, but he does have a couple of really bad matchups. He loses really hard to Leo. He's been losing a lot to Cosmos recently. And there are a couple of players that are just consistently beating him, but of course he still does have the skill to like beat players like Gluto. He beat Tweek at Summit. He's an incredible player. He basically just gets gate kept by like the top 5 or 7 players. He's been losing to Cola and Light as well, but he's an incredible player. If you can beat DeBuzz with any type of consistency, I consider you an amazing player. Shoutouts to Wadi. Wadi's like the only like lower ranked player that DeBuzz actually just loses to. But yeah, DeBuzz is kind of amazing. He's really good, really consistent, and he is nothing short of one of the best players in the world. So right now I have him at number 10, or you can say number 9, you can switch him out with this next player, which is Zomba. Listen, Rob is big, right? But the thing about Zomba is he has actually been doing very well recently. He got 5th at Pound, 5th at Genesis. Genesis, may I remind you, is like the biggest tournament in like 3 years. He has done well at a bunch of regionals where he gets 2nd. He got 2nd at Glitch Infinite. He has done incredibly well, very consistent. 4th at Smash World Tour, 5th at CEO. He's constantly been doing really well at all of these majors, and like, the results don't lie. His worst placement recently is, I'm gonna ignore, this is a local, and I think he was probably going secondaries, and this was like a random small tiny regional, so I'm not really worried about that. I don't know if he was trolling, but like the worst placement he's got recently is 9th at Collision, which is really good. Zomba has been playing absolutely phenomenally recently. He's been clutch. He hits people with back airs that I still don't understand how he hits so many people with back airs, because it's really not that good of a move. But like, he complains about Rob a lot, but at the same time, Rob is taking him to all of these incredible results. So yeah, I think it's very easy to say right now he's top 10. He should be seated very high. He is fantastic. Next up, we have the first Japanese person on this list, which is going to be T. T is an amazing player. The Pac-Man pioneer, he has done phenomenally well. His results are really, really solid. The only reason he's not higher on this list is because he got 13th at Ultimate Summit. He kind of got washed at Summit low-key. Goblin beat him. He lost. He beat Elegant, but he got dominated by Spargo. And I don't remember who he lost to in the Gauntlet stage. It might have been Tweek or something. But either way, overall, T does really well. He's consistently one of the best players in Japan. I would say right now he's the number 2 player in Japan under the other Japanese player on this list. He got 4th at main stage. He's constantly doing well at Japanese majors, getting like top 8s and winning and like getting second. Like his placements are so solid and so consistent overall. It's just like not good enough to be higher on the list, basically. He's an incredible player, just not as incredible as basically the next people. Like, he's so good. I don't like playing T. T is obnoxious to fight. I don't like it. He makes Pac-Man look top 5. But he's just not quite as good as the other people on this list. Now we have one of the, again, probably biggest up-and-coming stories since the middle of 2021, and that is Cola. Cola is godlike. We all know Cola's really good at this point, but he wasn't always super good. But I mean, his results don't lie. Yes, for a little bit he was inconsistent with the 65th at Riptide, and then he's got 17th at a couple places. But within the past, since like main stage where he got 9th, losing to T and Spargo, then he got 1st at CEO, 5th at Smash World Tour, 2nd at Let's Make Big Moves. He wins like all of the regionals he goes to, and he got 7th at Glitch Infinite, 7th at Collision, don't know what this is, and then 7th at Genesis 8. So he's constantly being in the top 8 of all these biggest tournaments, and it is impossible to say that he is not a force to be reckoned with. He has taken sets from Gluto, he's taken sets from DeBuzz, he's taken sets from a lot of these super top players. He brings it close with Leo sometimes. He has really exciting sets with a ton of these good players. He didn't go to Summit, so we didn't see him there, but basically he is constantly in striking distance of the top 5, and then he basically beats most of the people below him. He sometimes gets upset, but like not really. I think at Genesis he lost to Mars, which again, Mars is a perennial top 10, or not top 10, but like top 15, top 20 player in a lot of people's minds, and then Gluto, right, for Gluto's first time ever beating him. So like, he's constantly beating all these top players to make it in. He had wins on, no, not Void, Karama and DeBuzz. So again, he's beating a lot of top 10 players. He sometimes loses to lower ranked players, but at the same time, he generally beats them after. So yeah, he's an incredible player. He's so good. Roy's broken. And sitting just outside the top 5, this will come into a shock as a lot of people, and again, no hate to this person, please don't do that, is Tweek. Tweek, in my opinion, is the 6th best player in the world. A lot of the other people above him basically are just rising faster and are doing super consistently well at the recent majors, which is really, really good. Tweek, of course, an incredible player. Clearly, I put him at number 3 in the last time I did this list. However, he is just slightly less consistent than the top 5, basically. I mean, 2nd at Collision, he beat Leo, he beat Spargo in a set. He clearly can beat every player in the world, literally, except for Goblin, apparently. But again, a 33rd at Genesis, losing to AC and myself. Granted, I'm very good versus Diddy Kong, and I take that. 17th at Smash World Tour. He didn't do super great at Summit, considering he was the returning champion. But again, he does really well. The thing is, like, all these results are really good on any other person's resume, but the thing is, the top 5 have just been doing better. Straight up. Like, they're just doing better. Of course, I don't know, like, Tweek has some health issues. I don't know if that affected him here. I don't know how often it affects him at tournaments in general, because I know tournaments can be really hard for people with health issues. And again, I'm not saying that as a bad thing for him in terms of like, he's bad because blah, but it's just, he hasn't been as consistent as the rest of the top 5, so he sits right outside it. Of course, he can rise at any moment. He can be the best player in the world. Who knows? But right now, in my opinion, he is not top 5. But you know who is top 5? Gluto. This man just won Pound. This man got 2nd at Genesis. He has done absolutely fantastically the entire time. Pound, he won. Second at Genesis, beating a ridiculous amount of amazing players, beating Zomba, who's on this list, Light, who's on this list, Spargo, who's on this list, Cola, who's on this list. Like, he basically is just suddenly beating all these people that he kind of used to struggle and get like gate kept by. He got third at the Mexican Invitational, Delfino Maza, beating Spargo, but then losing to him in the run back, and then Leo. He's done amazingly. He got ninth at Collision because he lost to Cola and I think Leo or Tweek in winners. I don't remember. I'm pretty sure it was Tweek, but he's overall done really well. He got fifth at Ultimate Summit, fifth at Glitch Infinite. Like, he is just doing really, really well. He hasn't been doing as well in Europe, ironically, but again, he got second at CEO, ninth at Main Stage, losing to DeBuzz. So like, he basically only loses to top 10 players. And then, especially in the past month, he has been destroying everyone except for just Leo consistently. But like, in the past month or two, he's like positive on Spargo, not positive on Leo, but like positive on basically everyone else except for Tweek as well. So he's been doing incredibly well. His like month and a half journey to Mexico has really proven to be very, very good for him. He's an incredible player. And I think right now he deserves top 5. Again, he maybe will go lower because he will lose random matchups. He will lose to, Gact again. He can lose to other sortie players, but right now he's doing incredibly. So I want to give him top 5. The next player on this list, I low-key wanted to put at third, but I feel like I just can't. I really feel for some reason right now that I can't, and that's Light. Light, I wanted to put at third. He has been doing stupidly well. It doesn't make sense. Every time I watch Light recently, I'm like, wow, he's playing really hot this tournament. I can't imagine he's gonna keep it up. And then the next tournament, I'm like, wow, he's playing really hot this tournament. I don't know if he can keep this up. And then the next tournament, I'm like, wow, he's playing really hot. I can't think he's not gonna keep this up this tournament. There's no way. He got second at Summit. He got fifth at the glitch that I won. His worst placement is Glitch Infinite, where he lost to Jake and Vendetta. Two amazing players. Fox is still a bit susceptible to random upsets, but since then, he has been destroying everyone. He got second at Ultimate Summit 4, beating a ton of really good players, including other people on this list. He got fifth at Collision, where he lost to Riddles and Leo, I think. He gets first at every CT regional. He just doesn't lose to people at these regionals. He got fourth at Genesis, losing to Gluto and who did he lose to in winners? Leo. He got third at Pound, losing to Gluto and Leo. So like, he's basically only losing to Gluto, Leo, Spargo. Kind of. And then like randomly me, and then he'll have like 1 in every 8 tournaments where he gets upset, but his upsets are 13th, whereas Tweek's is like 33rd, you know what I'm saying? So he's actually playing so like ridiculously well. It does not make sense how consistent he is right now with this character, considering Fox is a somewhat inconsistent character, but he's making it work. He's ridiculous. I put him at number 4 only because I have a very high regard for this next player. And if you want to put the number 3 at the number 4, again, this list is like pretty fluid. You can move a player 1 or 2 spots. I'm not going to really make a fuss over it. And that is Proto Banham, the Japanese legend. He is the best player in Japan right now, and he is absolutely fantastic. He hasn't been to anything since Summit because Japan hasn't really had that many majors, if any majors, but he is basically the overlord of Japan. He wins more tournaments in Japan right now than any other player. He got third at Ultimate Summit. The combination of his Min and Lucina is amazing. I wish I could see him more. I wish there were more events in Japan, but again, he was ranked the number 1 player in Japan. He lost at Summit to Tweek in pools, and then Light in losers finals, and he was in losers already, so he lost to Tweek in the gauntlet, I think. And he lost to like Elegant or something. He lost to someone in pools, I don't remember. But basically, Proto only essentially loses to the top 10. Again, Zackary, if he was active, might be top 5. I think Zackary is an amazing player, but he hasn't been active, whereas at least Proto is still going to stuff. He is winning majors as well, so like he is still going to Japanese tournaments. There are just no majors right now because of how shut down Japan has been for COVID, but I think Proto is an absolutely fantastic player. He is so good. It doesn't make sense how fast he makes Min look. Same with his Lucina. I put him at number 3. Again, if you want to put Light at number 3, I'm not really that upset by it, but I just give Proto the benefit of the doubt because he is absolutely amazing. one of my favorite players, period. Editing ESAM here. After Proto Banham's performance at the most recent Japanese major, which I'll be going over my stream the day this comes out, so you can check out on my Twitch, but I'm going to be putting Light at number 3 and Proto at number 4, because if, you know, one of my biggest reasons was Proto dominates Japan and then you get 17th at a major, I just think Light, you know, considering how consistently he's been doing really well, puts him at number 3 and Proto at number 4. Okay, back to the video. Bye. And of course, the top 2 is no surprise. Everyone thinks that these are the top 2 players in the world uncontestedly, and that is number 2, Spargo. Spargo, he doesn't not get top 3. Literally, he always gets top 3. Since Offline came back, he got 6th at the Smash World Tour regional final, then he got 3rd at Ultimate Summit, and 3rd at Riptide, and 2nd at Fall Fest, and 2nd at Port Priority. This is to Leo, 2nd to Leo, 1st at this thing, 3rd to Leo Cosmos. He also wins all the online events, surprisingly. He wins a lot of Mexican events. He got 1st at Summit. He got 1st at Collision. He got 2nd at the Delfino Mazzareta. He got 3rd at Genesis. He's so consistent. He's literally he's the 2nd most consistent player in the world, and also has the 2nd highest peaks in the world. He, since the majors have returned, has won the 2nd most majors. But it's basically like, you know, Spargo wins the most events other than Leo, and Leo's the GOAT. So yeah, Spargo's incredible. He basically only loses to the top of the top players. He loses to Light, he lost to Gluto, he loses to Leo. I think that's it. That's kind of all he loses to. Like, that's literally it. That's really good. He only loses to the other top. Oh, he lost to Cosmos once. But like, he basically just beats everybody in the world, except consistently for the number 1, which is Leo. Duh. Do I need to describe it? Look at all these single digits. He's the most consistent player in the world, because he has placed 2nd or better at everything he's been to except Collision and Invitationals. For open majors, he's got 2nd at everything. He won Riptide. He got 2nd at Glitch, to me. 1st at Low Tide, 1st at Port Priority, 1st at Main Stage, 1st at Smash World Tour, 4th at Summit, which was an Invitational, 3rd at this Invitational going Corrin, 3rd at Collision, losing to Tweek and Spargo, and then immediately 1st at Delfino Mazzareta, 1st at Genesis, 2nd at Pound in Game 10, or Game 5, Set 2. I don't need to describe it. He is so good. He is so consistent. And the thing is, he's doing it with a way worse character than literally everyone else is using, which doesn't make sense. It's his sole character, Byleth, playing Corrin more recently too. He's so stupid. He's so dumb. It doesn't make sense how consistent he is. It literally doesn't. He's just the GOAT. He's just the GOAT. That's it. He's literally the GOAT. He's the best player now. I don't even see a world where he's not the best player in the world, because he at worst is going to like go even with number 2 but then not get upset or something. Dude, it's insane. He's the best player in the world. I think that's a bit obvious. And yeah, that's going to be about it for this one. I hope you all enjoyed. As always, social media, Panda and partner stuff is down below. What do you think of the list? Because that list is ridiculous. The top 10 players are crazy. Like, it's funny because I feel like I can beat all those people. Well, most of them. I feel like I can beat most of these people, but they're just consistent and they have really high peaks and they're doing really well. Again, shout out to the honorable mentions as well. There's a couple of more. I just didn't want to have like 7 honorable mentions because that's, you know, kind of stupid. So if you think I missed out on those players like me and Mars and Meister and people, put them down in the comments, because I know I just had to make 10 and I couldn't do that many honorable mentions. That's what I'm saying. So yeah, peace.
Pikachu busted.